Hi, I'm Colin. Welcome to Learnsomatics. So today we're going to be going through a movement that everybody loves called the Washrag. And this movement actually gets a bit of everything. So it gets into the spine, it gets into the hips, gets into the shoulders, the neck, the whole body. So a really good movement to finish your practice with. It's also a good movement to do at the beginning of your practice, because if it doesn't feel good, you know you need to do your practice basically. It sort of lets you know that you've accumulated some tension that you need to dissipate or reduce. So it's called the Washrag. We'll crack on and do it, and you can try it as always. So working position for Washrag is like a lot of our movements. Knees bent, feet flat on our back, arms out to the side. We're going to break this into sort of 3 sections to do it. So we're going to begin with let's begin with the hips. So what you're going to do is you're going to let your knees and hips tip to one side. So we're just letting the knees and hips tip over. And then we're going to bring it back. And then we're going to let our knees and hips go the other way. And what I want you to do when you're doing this is start to feel how it's the turning over of the hips that lets the knees tip over. It's not about your legs, it's about your hips. And the hips can tip over because you lengthen down your side. As you come back, you sort of roll across your sacrum at the back, across the back of your pelvis, and then out the other side. And then the other side can lengthen so the knees can tip over. So we're not really thinking about the legs, we're just thinking about rolling our hips over to one side, taking the knees with them, and then rolling our hips over to the other side, taking the knees with them. You see my feet, I'm rolling onto the outside and then inside and outside edge of each foot as I go over. Right, so don't try and keep your soles of your feet stuck to the table, because that's not going to work. There you go. Good. Alright, and as your hips go to the right, you can let your head turn to the left. So you're getting a nice rotation all the way up the spine. As your hips go left, head goes right. This feels really good to do. It's very simple. We're having our hip and knees go left, head goes right. So just gentle rotation, and it helps the brain to start to coordinate the upper and lower parts of the body. The hips going one way, the head's going the other. Alright, so you do that for as long as you need to feel comfortable with it. So you're like, okay, I think I've got the hang of that, I know what I'm doing there. Alright, so we come back. So, the next bit, we forget about the lower half for a moment, we can come back to it. Now, for the next bit, we're going to be using our shoulders and arms. We're going to roll one arm this direction. We're going to roll the other arm in the opposite direction. And we're going to look towards the hand that's rolling open, or the palm up. And then we're going to switch, roll this one down, roll this one up, and we always look toward the upturned palm. Okay? And just like what we were doing a minute ago, we just go back and forth. And I want you to notice as I roll my arms, it's my shoulders that are moving as well, right? So this one, the shoulders popping up in the air, this one, the shoulders going down into the table. And that helps my arms to roll, and it also helps to sort of send my head where it needs to go. So we're just wringing out the tension like a wash rag, like you're wringing water out of a cloth. You can let your elbows be kind of soft, let your hands be soft, let your shoulders be soft, and just let your head turn back and forth to the upturned hand. Okay, and then relax. Okay, so again, you can do that for as long as you need to, until it begins to feel like it's something you're comfortable with. And the obvious next step then is to do the lower half and the top half together. So it is kind of a lot of moving parts, so just take your time. So we know when our hips go right, hips and knees go right, our head goes left. And we know we always look to our upturned hand. So that's going to tell us that arm goes that way and this one goes this way. And from here, all we have to do is swap everything. So now our left arms go around down, hips go left, look upwards into our look into our upturned right hand. And you just go back and forth in that way. So go nice and slow. And it's just like all the movements, think about your trunk being the driver of the movement. Because your pelvis rolls over because of your trunk muscles. Okay, so think about, I'm going to use my trunk to do this movement. I mean, you're going to use your shoulders and your neck as well, but some attention to what's going on in the trunk. So I'm going to go this way, back and forth. So you can see how this involves the whole body. As I said, you can use it to finish out your practice. Great for before you go to bed. And you can do that for as long as you like. When you're done, lay out flat. And notice how that feels. If you've taken your time and gone within your own comfort level, that should feel very comfortable afterwards. And have a nice sense of less tension, closer to the table, more comfortable laying on the table. So that's Washrag. As always, give it a try and let me know how you get on.